Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here to do some very cute little stacked heart pockets, which I saw on one of Pam from the Paper Outpost, one of her videos. It was quite an old video, so you may have seen it, but you know, it may be a while since you've seen it, or you may not have seen it. But I think she called them a stacked heart tower pocket, and they were just so pretty. So yeah, I thought let's come along and make some of those. So I have got here, this is just a lid from a little kind of paper mache heart-shaped box. I don't know what the size is. Oh, it's kind of like, yeah, roughly 3-inch square, just over 3-inch square. So this is what I'm going to use for my template. I'm hoping that this is going to be a good size. You know, we'll kind of see obviously once we've made one or two. So I've taken some of my decorative papers here, and I'm just going to obviously use those as my, you know, my bases for my hearts. So these, please excuse the back, they've obviously, you know, have multiple things kind of printed on them. So I'm going to start by just drawing around my heart template. So obviously I'm trying to keep the decorative paper showing. So yeah, just draw around my heart template. That's one. So these are my you know, Purple's lace collection papers. I'm going to mix them with some of these from my damask collection. I thought they would look very pretty together. So this is the damask, I think this is the pales, the pale damask rather than the rich colour damask papers. So whoops, that on. And then, oh, what other one shall I mix it with? I'm not sure now. Oh, I'm not sure actually, yeah. Don't know now. Oh, well, we could, let's just see. We could mix it with this, I suppose, as a complete contrast, or I've got that one. Oh, yes, right. I mean, hopefully we'll have time and we can make a few of these. So, I mean, we can always experiment and put a few different colours together. So, just draw around my heart template. Now, I will kind of, you know, more assembly line style these in a minute, but I just want to try one first, because obviously if my hearts are not really kind of big enough or anything, I don't want to waste a ton of time, you know, with multiple hearts that are no, you know, no good for things. So taking those like that. Okay, so we'll just cut those out. Okie dokie. And weird, because hearts are not something that I generally use very often in junk journals, and I know I've talked about this before. I think for me they always feel kind of like a bit modern. But that being said, we made obviously recently we made the fabric heart charms. I've now been working on a heart kit, digi-kit, which may or may not be in my shop. I suspect it probably is by now. So yeah, weirdly they've kind of won me over now, and here we are doing obviously this heart stack, you know, stacked tower heart pocket stack. So yeah, I've kind of been like converted over to hearts, which just goes to show, doesn't it, you know, what you kind of like dismiss sometimes, you know, can come back around, and then you think, oh, actually, you know, quite liking them now. So I'm hoping these are going to be kind of forgiving by the time that they're like stacked up in the tower configuration, that if I've kind of like miscut them, or, you know, they're not quite the same shape or the same size as one another, I'm hoping that you're not really going to notice once they're actually glued together. Again, who knows? They may look terrible and really show, but hopefully they're going to look okay. So yeah, you just want 3. That was what Pam had used. You probably could do more than 3, you know, but yeah, 3 seemed like a good number on her, you know, her video. And then all you're doing is basically sticking your hearts down at the edges. So I just want to decide which way around I want this. Yeah, I think I like it that way around. So all you're actually doing is attaching them at the edges. So you've got a very, very, very small window, if you see what I mean. Small window, well, it's not really a window, but you know, very small area where they attach. So that's kind of something to be a little bit aware of is that they're only going to be attaching, you know, in a kind of small place. Now, I'm sure she must have had some really great method for attaching these, but yeah, I can't remember now what it was. So I'm just going to pop that down there, okay, and then I think I'm going to do, yeah, I think I'm going to do like each side together, if that makes sense. So I'll just pop this one down here. So can you see there, they really are just attached in the smallest area or in the smallest place. So, you know, they're going to be a little bit kind of, well, not the strongest pocket is all I would say. And yeah, that hadn't really even occurred to me until I've come to do them, that they haven't got a very big area for attaching. But, you know, they'd still be fine. But you just need to kind of be a little bit careful and not sort of manhandle them too much, I think. So there we go. Pop those down like that. Okay, so again, just glue them at the back. Now, obviously, when these are glued on the page, oops, that's going to, you know, secure them better, because what you would do is you would glue them straight down, you know, the whole of the side. So although they're only held together in the tiniest area at the moment, when you come to use them, it's going to be a bigger space that's attached, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's the tower. And then basically what you've got is you have got a pocket here. Oops. Oh my goodness. Ah, a pocket here, and then your pocket at the back. So aren't they just so lovely? Now I have to say, I'm thinking mine are a little bit on the small side, so I might have to make myself a template slightly bigger than this. Only because, you know, I favour quite large things normally. So for me, these feel a little bit tiny. Yeah, I think probably I would prefer them bigger. I'm just going to pull in a page because I tend to make journals from, say, like an A4 sheet. So this here, for instance, that's how big that would be on the page. I mean, actually, it doesn't look too bad. To be fair, that doesn't really look too bad. But I'm thinking maybe just like half an inch around, half an inch bigger or something. So I'm just going to make myself a little template and then I'll be back. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So as you can see, it's, you know, it's not massively different, but it is kind of a good, you know, half an inch bigger all round, you know, on each edge. It's not perfect because, of course, I've drawn it freehand. Whoops, sorry, I've just dropped a load of things off my shelf above me. Yeah, obviously I've drawn it freehand, but, you know, that's fine. We're making a junk journal here. It doesn't have to be, you know, absolutely, you know, perfect. So I'm just going to move the original one out of the way. So I've done a variety of different papers. So hopefully we're going to kind of, you know, get some nice pretty looks going here. And I also have yep, I've also got my coffee dye mixture. So I'm just going to coffee dye one or two of these because I thought actually, you know, the coffee dye would look pretty with these as well. Oh my goodness. I mean, oh, that's annoying because that's the same kind of pattern. Does that matter? What about if we mix it in with the shabby chic? Oh, that's pretty, isn't it? Right, so these three, I'm going to coffee dye these because I think they would look really pretty, to be honest. So I just keep this, you know, on the side of my desk. It's just literally black coffee. And I just, you know, keep a little paintbrush in there, and then you can just literally, as you come to use things, you know, just coffee dye them as you come to use them. Now, I know I've talked about this before. Ever since having instant ink, I can coffee dye after printing. Now, again, I don't want to make a sweeping statement here, just in case for any reason your instant ink is, you know, a different printer and maybe different ink and some, you know, doesn't work for any reason. But mine, touch wood, you know, that instant ink is brilliant, and you can, you know, coffee dye after printing, as you can see. So yeah, you may want to check yours. You know, please don't just assume that it will be fine, because I'm assuming that different printers have different inks, and so, you know, it may not be a kind of given that yours will also work. But, you know, definitely mine does work, and that just makes it so handy because, you know, it's lovely to be able to actually print and then ink afterwards, you know. So I'm just wondering about this. This is the William Morris ones, which now I'm thinking, oh, does that look right? I'm going to just coffee dye this one, because maybe that will look better. So yeah, let's just coffee dye that one. Let's see, whoops. Yeah, that kind of blends it in better, doesn't it? So I might just even do this one as well. So this is the William Morris papers, and this one is the damask papers. So now when I'm trying to dry mine, I sometimes just rest them on my hot glue gun. It's not really done anything today, so I'm just going to quickly dry them off. I mean, I just find it so handy to be able to just coffee dye things on the fly, you know, just with my cup of black coffee sat there. Because, you know, this is obviously just a small quantity, and it just saves you having to bulk coffee dye stuff. Obviously, what I tend to do is in the summer, I bulk coffee dye a whole ton of paper. However, that's, you know, that's fine for your plain papers. But obviously, you know, for printed papers, if you're using, you know, or if I then make newer designs, they're not going to be on coffee dyed paper. I don't ever really tend to print on my coffee dyed paper, and the only reason for that is because I'm so mean and stingy with my coffee dyed paper, because obviously it seems like it's taken me such a long time to coffee dye it. I don't then want to use it, and I don't want to then feed it through the printer. And let's say, you know, my printer starts running out of ink and I haven't realised, and then I get a rubbish print on the coffee dyed paper, or, you know, the printer jams or something like that, and, you know, I end up having to throw that coffee dyed piece of paper away. I mean, absolutely ridiculous, because it's not like it takes so long to coffee dye paper. But yeah, I just try and kind of like hang on to the coffee dyed paper really. So for me, I personally find it much quicker, you know, to just coffee dye kind of like as I'm going, like this, with the, you know, with the smaller pieces, or, you know, with newer designs that maybe I didn't get, you know, I didn't have back in the summer. But what I would do is, obviously in the summer, you know, I'm filming this now before the weather's nice enough, but, and I always do say, you know, I film ahead, so if it's lovely now, because I've filmed the video ahead. But yeah, what I would do is in the summer, I will print, you know, a lot, and then I will go out and actually, you know, coffee dye a lot of printed papers as well. So that I've got then, you know, a whole range of printed and non-printed pieces. Right, okay. Now, what was I using with what? That was the question. Oh, let's just double check actually. Just double check, because I'm now thinking, would I prefer this with this? To see how this looks with this. Oh, I don't know now. Oh, I don't know. See, the crazy thing is now, I'm trying to now hoard the coffee dyed hearts. I mean, hello, what is wrong with me? Now, I haven't got my little iron here, unfortunately. It's downstairs in the kitchen, because I've been doing things down there. Yeah, my whole house has turned into a craft room. It is just, oh, the biggest tip ever in my house. Yeah. I mean, it's lucky that nobody's coming to visit, because my goodness, they would be horrified by the mess that's everywhere. I mean, it's one of those scenarios, you know, like if anybody did suddenly surprise me with a surprise visit, I'd be like mortified, you know, wouldn't want to let them in. Yes, it's not good. So, you know, you could completely mix up your colours. I'm, you know, not that brave, so I'm not going to do that. But if you wanted to, you could. So, yeah, I think I'm going to switch them up, because I think I prefer this one with these. Do I? Yeah. And to be honest, I don't dislike this one with this. So, yeah, I'm going to mix them up. So, I'm going to do the same as what we did with the last ones, in that I'm going to kind of like hold them. Now, I think Pam did actually kind of fold hers down the centre, so she knew she was gluing them, you know, in the centre, not in the centre, but, you know, where they needed to be glued. I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going to judge by eye, and maybe I'll be sorry, because I'd probably end up with them not glued in the right places. But yeah, so you know, goes kind of either way. You know, you can either kind of like fold them in the center, or you can just kind of judge it by eye and hope for the best. So I'm just, you know, judging by eye and hoping for the best on mine. Just going to check that I wouldn't prefer it that way around. No, I'm going to have my striking dark one on the front. So I didn't coffee dye the dark one because I thought, well, actually, it's you know, it's kind of dark enough, and so I don't think the coffee would really, you know, show up or, you know, add much to it. That being said, what the coffee does do is it gives it a kind of curly texture, if you see what I mean. So sometimes, even if you didn't want to coffee dye something, so like this, you could do it maybe with water. I know that sounds like a crazy thing to say, but the water would actually kind of give it the texture of coffee dyed without actually kind of coffee dyeing, if you see what I mean. So, you know, if you wanted just that slight kind of, yeah, more wrinkled kind of texture that you get with coffee dye. Oh, so sorry. Now that's my phone. Hold on. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. I can't remember now even what I was saying. Oh, I think just about the creasing. So yeah, up to you really. You could do it either way. You know, either crease them so you get it exactly in the middle, or, you know, just eyeball it and, you know, wing and a prayer kind of style. And, you know, I'm sure either way is fine. You're not going to be kind of a million miles out. So there we go. Oh my goodness, how yummy do they look? They are so pretty, aren't they? So yeah, really love how they look. And then let's decorate one or two of them up, shall we? And just kind of, yeah, make them look pretty. So just wondering what I might like to use to decorate them. What might we like to use? I'm just looking around my desk. My goodness, it's such a mess today. Well, who am I kidding? It's not such a mess today. It's such a mess every day. Every day. Oh my goodness, now more things dropping down. Yeah, it's such a mess all the time, to be honest, but never mind. That's how we like it. No, I'm not necessarily saying it's how we like it, but, you know, it's sometimes handy to have a lot of mess, because then you've got a lot of opportunities for, you know, stuff to work with, don't you? So, right, this is from my Great Expectations kit, and I've printed it to a page so that we've got kind of smaller, you know, smaller versions. So, but I thought these would look really cool and really pretty with the pink ones, I'm thinking, although to be honest it might even look okay with the blue. I'm not sure. Let's just take that and see. Okay. Yes, I think I need to do a mass clear up. I mean, you know, who am I kidding? That's not going to happen, is it? But that's what I should be doing. So, I mean, we could even put it on this one. I mean, that being said, I actually quite like it even on the blue. I mean, I didn't expect it to look good on the blue because it has got this kind of pinky tinge, but it does actually look quite nice on there. So, yeah, I might even have it on the blue. What do you think? Yeah, I'm kind of thinking maybe do something lighter on the pink. So maybe actually have it on the blue. Maybe off to one side or something. Yeah, maybe something like that. And then, I mean, oh, I always love a bit of lace. So let's just see what lace and things that I've got laying around. Oh, don't really have any lace there. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Right. Oh my goodness. Oh, only saw a light glimpse of that for a split second, but oh, loving it. Loving it, loving it. Right, okay. Oh my goodness, how yummy does that look? I love how that looks. That's so pretty. So I am just going to hot glue this down, and I know I say this all the time, so I apologise for being just like a scratch record, but I use my hot glue because it's quick. And, you know, if you're doing videos and things, you know, people don't want to see you kind of like pressing things down for ages, making sure they're glued. So, you know, the hot glue is just brilliant because it obviously holds that lace down and it's kind of clamped everything down in one fell swoop. But, you know, I'm not necessarily saying, oh, you'd have to have hot glue. But yeah, it's just, it's nice and quick. And again, I did get a comment, it was a long time ago now, but somebody said, well, I don't know why you have to, because I watch other videos and they don't use hot glue. And hey, I mean, she's got a point, hasn't she? But, you know, I mean, each to their own, isn't it? But, you know, for me, I just feel like I would be constantly wanting to press it and make sure it's held down, or make sure it's, you know, it's glued down. So rather than do that, I'd rather just use the hot glue in the first place. But, you know, I mean, yeah, she made a good point. There we go. I also had a comment, and this was a really long time ago, from somebody else who said, oh, I love my hot glue, you know, but I've noticed hardly anyone in the junk journal community uses theirs, you know. And that was really weird. I'm not sure why, but, you know, again, she made a valid point, because when I then sort of, you know, replied and thought about it, I thought, well, actually, she's got a point there. Not many people do seem to use hot glue, you know, with junk journals. And I don't know why that is, to be honest, but yeah. I mean, mine is, you know, I used to be a scrapbooker, so maybe mine kind of stems from that. But honestly, I love using the hot glue. So for me, it's like, wow, you know, nothing can stop me from using the hot glue. But, you know, just use the glue that you want to use. Right, now, do we want the bow here on the side? I mean, I think that looks quite pretty. Or do we want it here on that, you know, kind of central heart? I feel like having it on the central heart, if you see what I mean, it kind of makes it more obvious that they are hearts, which I quite like, because obviously they are hearts. We do want them to look like they're hearts, don't we? There we go. Oh my goodness, how scrumptious do they look? So, like I said, you would then glue them on that side and that side. Obviously, it's quite soggy, I'm afraid, because, you know, it's not 100% dry from the coffee dyeing. But then what you're going to have is then pocket here, and obviously, you know, pocket at the back as well. So, aren't they gorgeous? Now, I just then picked out another bow, which I thought we'd have on this one. Oh my goodness, I love how that looks. I mean, to be honest, I'm not even sure that it needs kind of anything else, but I mean, that being said, I'd hate not to decorate it and, you know, let it look bare. So yeah, these might be going to be too small for this now, I'm thinking, but let's just see. Just going to take this one first. Yeah, and like I said, these are from the Great Expectations kit. They have not been coffee dyed, so, you know, they're, yeah, not coffee dyed pieces. And these have been printed on 210, I think it is, GSM. So considerably thicker paper than what the hearts themselves have been printed on. They were 110, this is 210. And this is photo quality paper. Not this, but this is photo quality paper. So just to kind of, you know, give you a kind of idea of, you know, the differences in the papers. Oh, there we go. Oh, how gorgeous does that look? So, yep, just going to ink around the edge. Who needs coffee dye when you can just ink, to be honest? So there we go, like that. Oh, I mean, I'm not even going to put lace on that, which, wow, very rare for me to not put lace on. Do I want hot glue? Oh, I'm just going to be, yeah, a normal person and just glue with wet glue here, because we've not got lace or anything. So I'm just going to pop that in the middle of that heart there. Sorry if you could hear the dog then just kind of moaning. She likes to do that from time to time. I'm not sure whether it's when she's getting disturbed, you know, disturbing her sleep. Her little bed's in my room. And I say all these things every day, so I'm so sorry if you do watch my channel a lot and you think, oh gosh, she just repeats herself every day. I say these things because not everybody might have watched my channel ever before. So, you know, I don't want people to think, oh, what's that noise? You know, and then think, well, where's her dog? Yeah, so, you know, I just repeat myself constantly. There we go. And that pretty bow there. So, I mean, I could have done with ironing this paper if I'm truthful, but it's okay. It's looking okay. So, yeah, that's that one. Right, and then we've got our bright one that we didn't coffee dye. So, and this one obviously is the smaller one. So it's the first one that we did. So I'm just going to ink around this now, like retrospectively. Not the easiest because obviously, you know, I've got the heart-shaped parts, if you see what I mean. So yeah, definitely should have really inked this before gluing it together, but it's okay. It still looks fine, doesn't it? So yeah, it's all okay. Now, don't know what to put on this one. I'm actually thinking what would look really lovely on here is some of the, you know, ribbon with those little buckles, I think. So let's just see what lace, what ribbon I've got. Okay. I mean, that is a little bit on the bright side, it's got to be said, but it's okay. So pop that like that. And these little buckles should be available in my shop. So yeah, if you wanted to kind of check them out, they should be available in my shop. They're in little packs. Sold them in packs at the moment with florals. So flowers and buckles and some ribbons. The ribbons aren't necessarily the ribbons that would be the right size for the buckles. I must just quickly point that out. Again, it's just things that I can get hold of at the time. Oh gosh, now I've ripped that heart. What am I doing? What am I doing? Right, loving that. That looks really, 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 really pretty. But I'm just thinking, does it need one or two more things? You know, is it a little bit on the plain side? We could even have it diagonal, but that's a bit weird. What if we have it like that with the, maybe the flower? Oh, I don't know now. I do really like the ribbon with the buckle. I think that does look very pretty. But I'm now struggling to, yeah, decide. I mean, to be honest, it does look okay with nothing else. You know, I don't really need to put anything else on it. But again, if you watch my channel, you'll know that I do struggle with the whole less is less, let's face it. Yes, less is not really a colour or a combination that I can carry off very well. So kind of feeling like I do want to have something else on here. I mean, we could even have it like that, although maybe that doesn't go brilliantly with this. I'm not sure. Let me have a look and see if I've just got some labels that I could put on here. Now, the labels that I've got, I think they are just on copy paper, and I would normally probably really print labels onto, you know, thicker paper, but I have these. So yeah, let's just pop one of these on. So fingers crossed, and I don't even know if this is going to look right, but let's just try it. Because I really need to print off some more labels at the moment. I've got a shortage of labels. So yeah, I'm just going to go with this one. Okay, so we could have that there, like right in the middle, and then the buckle, you know, with the ribbon, oh, even like that, over the label. I just felt like it needed something to break it up. I mean, of course it does look fine, you know, completely plain. You know, that also does look fine. But I felt like it just needed something else. So, you know, I know you're possibly thinking, well, that's weird because she's now just covering the whole of the label up with the ribbon. But for some reason, I still feel it needs that. You know, it kind of needed the addition of something, didn't it? In, you know, my opinion. So, yeah, just going to, again, pop some hot glue straight across and then just pop this straight down here. Okay, and then, you know, you don't need to wrap your ribbon around or anything. You can just snip that off there on the edge. And, oops, there on that edge. Hello, beautiful girl. Oh, my doggy's come around to see me now. I've disturbed her so much, she's coming round to make her presence known. So always lovely to see her, because I can't see her bed from my, you know, where I'm working. She's on the floor, but it's too small a room, you know, I can't see her bed. So yep, I'm just going to say hello, gorgeous. Now unfortunately I can't tip her up like Pam at the Paper Outpost does, you know, for her to say hi to you guys, because she's a little sausage dog. I don't want to damage her back by turning her over, but yeah, that's her. She's just saying hi, hi, hi. Honestly, I never thought that I would see the day that I'm then lifting my dog up onto the camera, but yeah. Oh dear, right. So that is my finished hot. So we've got this one, we have got this one, and we have got this one. Love them all, I have to be honest. I'm not sure which is my favourite. Yeah, love them all. Oh my goodness, that's gorgeous on that paper, isn't it? Yeah, love them all. So yes, it's kind of an oldish you know, video of Pam's, like I say. I will try and remember to link it below, but yeah, kind of resurrected them, and oh my word, aren't they just so gorgeous. So yeah, I really hope that you like them. Let me know below which is your favourite. I'm kind of loving this one, weirdly, only since it's gone on this background paper, which this background paper is from my new Junk Journal Basics kit. So it's the Junk Journal Basics 2 kit number 2, and my goodness, doesn't that just look gorgeous on there? Wasn't liking it that much. Well, I mean, I was quite liking it, but yeah, it wasn't my favourite when I was kind of just looking at it, you know, naked. But my goodness, on there, oh, scrumptious or what? Yeah, really love it. So yeah, let me know which is your favourite, and yeah, hope you like them, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks then, bye.